The idea that a single universal law could shape your entire existence is both exhilarating and unsettling. Imagine a mystical principle hidden in plain sight, holding the key to unlocking true spiritual freedom. This is the law of Thelema, a doctrine introduced by the enigmatic and controversial figure Aleister Crowley. For over a century, this philosophy has influenced occultists, artists, and seekers of deeper truths, challenging conventional beliefs and inviting those who dare to see beyond the veil of ordinary reality. To grasp the essence of Thelema, one must first understand the man who brought it into existence. Aleister Crowley was many things: magician, poet, traveler, and provocateur. While his life was riddled with controversy, his impact on modern spirituality cannot be ignored. In 1904, while in Egypt with his wife, Rose Edith Kelly, Crowley experienced an event that would forever change his destiny. Rose, seemingly possessed by an unseen force, began making strange proclamations, insisting that the god Horus wished to communicate with them. Crowley, initially skeptical, decided to test her. To his astonishment, she accurately described details of Horus's iconography, details she could not have possibly known. What followed was even more extraordinary. Over 3 days, from April 8th to April 10th, Crowley transcribed messages dictated by a mysterious voice, identifying itself as Aiwass, the messenger of the gods. These dictations became the Book of the Law, Liber vel Legis, a text that Crowley would spend the rest of his life attempting to fully comprehend. This book introduced radical ideas that would shake the foundations of Western esotericism, declaring that humanity was entering a new era, the Aeon of Horus. In this new age, individual freedom and self-discovery would replace religious dogma and blind submission. As with all revolutionary ideas, Thelema was met with both reverence and hostility. Some hailed Crowley as a prophet, a visionary leading humanity toward a new spiritual awakening. Others dismissed him as a fraud, a madman lost in his own delusions. Despite the controversy, Thelema took root, influencing esoteric orders, writers, philosophers, and even countercultural movements throughout the 20th century. Its influence is still felt today, subtly woven into the fabric of modern spiritual and artistic expression. At the core of Thelema lies a deceptively simple phrase: "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." These words, spoken to Crowley by Aiwass, have become the cornerstone of Thelemic thought. However, their meaning is often misunderstood. To the uninformed, this phrase may seem like an endorsement of reckless hedonism or lawless anarchy, but its true significance runs much deeper. In the Thelemic perspective, do what thou wilt does not mean indulging in every passing desire or acting without consequence. Instead, it speaks of the concept of true will, a profound cosmic purpose unique to each individual. Every person, according to Thelema, has a true will, a divine mission woven into the fabric of their being. The challenge lies in discovering and aligning oneself with this higher purpose. Achieving this alignment is not easy. It requires deep self-exploration, the shedding of societal conditioning, and the courage to break free from artificial moral constraints. Thelemic practitioners use meditation, ritual magic, and occult study as tools to strip away illusions and uncover their true will. Crowley often compared this idea to celestial mechanics. Just as planets move in perfect harmony along their ordained paths, so too should human beings follow their true will without interference or contradiction. This idea also carries a profound responsibility. It is not a license for self-indulgence, but a call to mastery of oneself, of one's desires, and of one's destiny. True will is not dictated by fleeting whims. It is discovered through sincere introspection and disciplined pursuit. A person who follows their true will moves through life with purpose and authenticity, liberated from guilt, fear, and external control. When each individual embraces their path, conflict disappears and universal harmony emerges. However, not everyone is prepared to accept this truth. The concept of living without imposed morality frightens many because it demands total responsibility for one's actions. If every individual followed their true will with unwavering dedication, humanity would reach a new state of collective evolution. But fear and conditioning keep many shackled to outdated beliefs and restrictive paradigms. The question is, are you ready to break free? Alongside, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." Another phrase is frequently cited within Thelema. Love is the law, love under will. At first glance, this may seem like a poetic afterthought, but its meaning is just as profound as the first maxim. Unlike conventional notions of love, which often involve attachment, possession, or obligation, Thelemic love is a universal force, an energy that binds and balances all existence. However, love must always be in accordance with true will. Crowley viewed love not as a fleeting emotion, but as an active principle, a force that connects without controlling, that unites without imposing. True love arises when two beings, each aligned with their own true will, interact in harmony. In this way, love becomes a reflection of cosmic order, not a tool for manipulation or subjugation. The phrase, "love under will," implies that love should not be blind or chaotic. It must be understood, respected, and directed wisely. Human relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or spiritual, should be built on freedom, mutual respect, and the absence of coercion. When people act in alignment with their true will, love flows naturally, untainted by fear, jealousy, or artificial constraints. Within the esoteric framework of Thelema, love is not just personal, it is divine. Crowley associated this principle with the goddess Nuit, the infinite night sky, who invites her followers to dissolve into her embrace, to lose themselves in love and find wholeness in union with the cosmos. This is not possessive love, but transcendental love, a complete merging with the infinite. In essence, love is the law. Love under will teaches that all human connections should be guided by an awareness of one's own nature and the nature of others. True love does not bind or enslave, it liberates and strengthens. When an individual follows their true will, their love becomes pure, sincere, and untainted by societal expectations. This philosophy presents an alternative ethical system, one based not on arbitrary rules, but on self-knowledge and conscious choice. For Thelemites, morality is not dictated by religious commandments or cultural norms. It arises organically from the understanding of true will. This does not mean morality is abandoned, far from it. It means that ethics become personal, rooted in authentic awareness rather than external enforcement. This principle is often misunderstood by critics who assume that rejecting imposed morality is equivalent to rejecting all morality. In truth, Thelema demands a higher level of ethical responsibility, one that requires individuals to think, choose, and act with clarity and purpose. Through these two maxims, Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, and love is the law, love under will. Thelema provides a spiritual framework that is both liberating and demanding. It calls on individuals to awaken to their highest potential, to discard false limitations, and to embrace a life of purpose and authenticity. But this path is not for everyone. It requires courage to step beyond the safety of conventional thought and into the unknown. The journey of Thelema is a journey of self-discovery, a path where each step is guided by an inner truth waiting to be unveiled. The question remains, are you ready to listen? The Book of the Law, or Liber A.L. Legis, is not merely a mystical text. It is a declaration of a new spiritual reality. Divided into 3 enigmatic chapters, each section is said to have been dictated by a different entity, revealing distinct yet interconnected aspects of Thelemic philosophy. These chapters do not offer simple commandments or rigid doctrines. Instead, they present profound, often cryptic messages meant to be unraveled by those seeking deeper understanding. The first chapter is attributed to Nuit, the goddess of the infinite night sky, representing boundless love, freedom, and the limitless possibilities of existence. She speaks of a universe where every individual is a star, each with their own path and destiny. Her words remind us that true liberation comes from transcending the ego and merging with the divine whole. Every man and every woman is a star, she declares, emphasizing that every person holds a unique and sacred place in the cosmic order. Nuit's message is one of expansion, ecstasy, and the dissolution of artificial constraints. To truly live under Thelema, one must embrace their divine nature, shedding the illusions that bind them to smallness and fear. The second chapter shifts from the vastness of Nuit to the dynamism of Hadit, the fiery core of individual experience. If Nuit is the infinite expanse, Hadit is the singular point of consciousness that moves through it. He is the hidden spark within, the driving force behind every action and realization. I am the flame that burns in every heart of man, he proclaims, emphasizing the inward journey each seeker must undertake. Unlike traditional religious systems that impose morality from above, Hadit encourages self-exploration and direct experience. True will is not found through obedience, but through the courageous act of living one's own truth without fear or compromise. The third and final chapter introduces Ra-Hur-Kuit, the warrior aspect of Horus, bringing forth a message of power, transformation, and destruction of outdated structures. This chapter is often seen as the most controversial, filled with fierce and provocative statements. But beneath its apparent harshness lies an essential truth. The old ways must be torn down to make way for new growth. The Aeon of Horus is not an age of passive submission, but of active self-realization. Ra-Hur-Kuit calls upon individuals to seize their destiny, to reject false authorities, and to embrace their own sovereignty. It is a call to arms, not in the sense of violence, but in the sense of inner revolution. Together, these 3 chapters form the foundation of Thelema, presenting a path that is both exhilarating and demanding. The philosophy is not for those who seek comfort in rigid structures or external validation. It is for those willing to undertake the immense responsibility of self-discovery, those who dare to claim their divine inheritance and live authentically in accordance with their true will. But how does one apply these teachings in everyday life? The pursuit of true will is not an abstract concept. It is a lived experience. Self-knowledge is the first step. understanding one's desires, motivations, and deepest truths. Thelemites often keep detailed magical diaries, recording their thoughts, dreams, and spiritual insights to uncover patterns and deeper meanings. Meditation, ritual, and occult study serve as tools for peeling away false identities and revealing the core of one's being. Beyond introspection, Thelema emphasizes action. Living according to one's true will means engaging with the world fully, whether through creative expression, intellectual exploration, or personal transformation. Crowley encouraged his followers to excel in all areas of life, believing that a Thelemite should not merely exist, but thrive. The pursuit of mastery, whether in art, science, philosophy, or personal development, is a direct manifestation of true will. Ritual practice plays a significant role in aligning oneself with Thelema. The lesser ritual of the pentagram, for example, is used to cleanse and center the practitioner, strengthening their spiritual presence. More advanced rituals, such as the invocation of the Holy Guardian Angel, seek to establish direct communication with one's highest self, the ultimate source of true will. These practices are not empty gestures. They are deliberate acts designed to bring the practitioner into alignment with their divine purpose. Another crucial aspect of Thelema is personal responsibility. Unlike religious systems that provide a predefined moral code, Thelema demands that each individual discern their own ethical path. This is not an excuse for reckless behavior, but a call to conscious living. Every action has consequences, and a true Thelemite understands that freedom is inseparable from responsibility. Respecting the true will of others is just as important as following one's own. Coercion and manipulation have no place in a Thelemic society. Misconceptions about Thelema abound. Many believe it to be a doctrine of selfish indulgence, mistaking "do what thou wilt" for a free pass to do whatever one pleases. In reality, true will is not dictated by fleeting desires, but by a deeper spiritual imperative. To live in accordance with one's true will requires discipline, self-awareness, and a commitment to growth. It is not about satisfying every whim, but about aligning with the forces that guide one's higher purpose. Aleister Crowley himself remains a polarizing figure. Dubbed the most wicked man in the world by sensationalist media, he deliberately cultivated an image of rebellion and transgression. Yet, those who study his work closely recognize the depth of his spiritual insights. His provocations were not acts of mere defiance, but strategic moves to challenge hypocrisy and awaken deeper thought. Thelema is not about blind rebellion. It is about intelligent revolution, breaking chains that no longer serve and forging a new path with clarity and purpose. Another common misunderstanding is the association of Thelema with Satanism. While Crowley rejected traditional religious dogmas, he did not advocate for the worship of any external entity, be it God, demon, or otherwise. Thelema is about the divinity within, the recognition that every individual carries the divine spark and the power to shape their own destiny. It does not demand submission to any being, but instead calls for the realization of the God within oneself. The philosophy of Thelema is not for everyone. It requires courage to step beyond the comfort of societal norms and into the vast unknown of personal freedom. Many fear the weight of true responsibility. It is easier to follow than to lead oneself. But for those who hear the call and choose to walk this path, Thelema offers unparalleled liberation. It is an invitation to live without fear, to love without restriction, and to act with purpose. The world we live in is still bound by old paradigms, rules imposed by external authorities, moralities dictated by institutions, and limitations accepted without question. But Thelema whispers a different message. You are free. You are not a pawn in someone else's game. You are the master of your own existence. Your true will is already calling, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be lived. Now that you have glimpsed the law of Thelema, the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? The path is before you. The choice is yours.